Hello and good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are. This is Jenny Washington. I'm talking to you from Passageways and our headquarters. Welcome everybody who has joined our session. We hope this one will be a fun one as we get ready to wrap up 2019. I am going to get us kicked off today with showing you kind of what we're going to be talking about. If I can get my slides to advance like they're supposed to here. There we go. Okay, so for today, our agenda is kind of a fun one. It's a little bit different than some of our past sessions where we've been talking about specific product features. Today, we're just doing a review of 2019. And with that, for some of you, you might be newer to the OnBoard family. So I want to give you just kind of a quick overview of Passageways. And then we're going to highlight some of the things that have happened in 2019 here at Passageways and with OnBoard. One of those things will be telling you a little bit more about annual reviews that we do. If you have not had one, you'll get to learn a little bit more about what to expect when your customer success manager reaches out to you in the near future to do a review. And we're going to talk about some of those releases, product releases and features. We're going to spotlight some of those from our 29 releases. And we want to just share a little bit more with you about our belief here at Passageways with giving back and our Pledge 1%. So we'll tell you a little bit about that. And we have some exciting end-of-year promotions. And so one of my colleagues here that I'll be introducing is going to be letting you know how you can take advantage of those before time runs out. And then, of course, we'll be doing some Q&A and telling you what's coming for 2020. So with that, let me go ahead and introduce you to everyone here that's a panelist participating from Passageways from our customer experience and customer success team. So we have Dean Floyd, who's one of our customer success managers, on the phone with us.
Hi, everyone.
And then we have Gina Guy, one of our implementation managers. Hello, everyone. Then myself, Jenny Washington, also an implementation manager. And then Tim Vire with Dean in our Indianapolis office, one of the customer success managers as well.
Hello, everyone.
Great. So we are really excited to do this. This one's going to be a little bit interesting for us because we've got people split across 2 locations. So hopefully everything goes really smoothly today. And before we do that, I'm going to just run through a couple housekeeping things. You should all, I think, be muted, but you can raise your hand. Hopefully you all are hearing us just fine on the audio, which if you need to, you can always adjust your volume. We probably won't be having you use your audio to communicate today, but we do have a Q&A feature here in Zoom. So we would love for you to use the Q&A tool at any point throughout this session today, just to ask questions of us. We will try to catch those and answer them along the way. We also have a dedicated Q&A session available towards the end. And we do also have the chat. So again, the chat would be more for if you have a technical problem or aren't able to hear us or you need us to slow down. So with that, I want to do one more reminder about how you can find all of these webinars. That the one today will be available coming up here on YouTube on the Passageways channel. You'll also be able to find, in addition to all of our webinar recordings, we've got customer videos and testimonials. We have short feature videos as well. And then we have our OnBoard community. So if you have not been in the OnBoard community or the Help Center, you can go to help.passageways.com and click on the community at the top, and you'll see the OnBoard webinars can also be found there. So I'm going to go ahead, excuse me, and we're going to be kind of splitting this up. So the last portion that I'm going to be talking to you about today is just kind of that timeline overview. So you can really get a good picture for what we've been doing here in 2019. And one of the reasons why we wanted to do this, wrap up is, of course, it's the end of the year, people are doing reflections, so we thought we would also do a little bit of a reflection with you. Also, this is the time to celebrate our friends and our family, and here at Passageways, we view all of you, our customers, as our family. So we want to close out the end of the year with all of you. And so we also hear oftentimes from our customers that sometimes they don't feel like they know everything that we might be offering here at Passageways. So again, this is an opportunity for us to make sure that we are sharing with you things that we're excited about, but really this is our focus on you and continuing to make you guys the hero and making sure you know exactly what we've been doing throughout the year in case you missed something. And then also, like I said, what's coming up for 2020. So I am going to see if I can't turn this over and share with you a little bit of a bigger view of this. We'll see if this works or not here. Okay, I'm not sure if it's going to change the view, so hopefully you can see this. I'm just going to walk you through and highlight a couple of things, and then we're going to go into detail more of these. So, of course, starting out January 2019, one of the big things that we're focused on this year was expansion and growth and strategic growth to help our customers with the product. So that began with adding some new staff to the customer success team. So Gina, who's sitting here with me today, she joined us in January of 2019. And at that time, our overall Passageways head count, our employee count was about 90. I think it was just shy of that. So January began when we began our process to hire more people, not only in customer success, but also, in our product area, in our development area, in our engineering area, in our tech support, really in every place throughout Passageways, just to better support you. And then in February, we had some exciting things happen that I just wanted to touch on. We partnered with the Armed Forces Financial Network, or AFFN, for those of you that might be affiliated with AFFN. You might be familiar with that. So we do try to join and partner with groups as we grow. Last year, we partnered with the Association of Governing Boards, or AGB. We also grew some more. So Tim, who's on the phone, joined us, and Jillian Walker, also both customer success managers, joined us, and we opened another office. So I mentioned our headquarters is here in Lafayette, Indiana, and we then opened our office in Indianapolis, which is about 60 miles away. And we also have staff in Canada and in the UK. So we've just been growing in terms of locations as well. So skipping ahead a couple of months to May, we've been doing these webinars pretty much on a monthly basis. So we just wanted to highlight a couple of webinars here that we've done. We did a customer frequently asked question webinar. We also talked about in May how to help those who have virtual attendees with their meetings and a focus on really leveraging the approval tool effectively. We also added Dean Floyd, who's on the phone. And as we've been growing with our team, we've been taking the opportunity to further segment and specialize so that we can really help you. So we know that many of our customers have similar challenges and things that they do when it comes to their meetings, but we also know that there are some unique needs. For example, in the financial sector, we've got ALCO and DLC that maybe you wouldn't have, obviously, in a higher ed setting or a healthcare setting. Depending on what organization, what type of government or education or nonprofit you might be doing Form 990s or DNOs or conflict of interest forms. So again, we want to make sure we understand and be able to help you with those kind of differences, and just really be, viewed as kind of a trusted partner, hopefully. Public versus private organizations and institutions have lots of differences. So whether you're a charitable organization doing fundraising, or you're more of a governing board, or some boards are advisory boards. So lots of differences there, even though a lot of the workflows and processes are the same. We really, again, just wanted to be able to customize around unique needs by industry. So that was a big focus with our growth, is to do that segmentation. And then we have some different awards that we've been able to collect, other webinars giving you ideas of how to do things just outside of the normal use of OnBoard. And we've had releases that we're going to be talking to you about. In June, we released annotating on resources. We had a fireside chat in July with our Passageways co-founder and CEO, Parun Chadha. If you missed that, we did a lot of restyling of our permissions that Dean will be showing you. We were excited to do a blood drive as part of our Pledge 1%, and Tim will be sharing with you some exciting things that came from that we want to share with you. And again, we had some more growth. So in September, not that many months ago, we added Gabe Smith and Joe Bauer, who's another implementation manager. We released our messenger tool. Then in October, we added another customer success manager and had a webinar on really just making sure you're really using the announcements and the dashboard in a really effective way. And we were excited to have Passageways be certified as a great place to work in October. One of our recent Pledge 1% in November was we did a You Nominate, We Donate campaign where we gave OnBoard away for free to 5 nonprofit or charitable organizations. So those are just some of the things that we wanted to share with you that we hope will let you know that, obviously we care, we're invested. We've been around since 2002, and we're just going to continue to think strategically about how we can make OnBoard better with your feedback. So that was just a quick kind of overview that now we want to dive into. And again, just as a reminder, if you have any comments, if there's anything that you're wondering if we're going to talk about, feel free to use the Q&A. But at this point, I am going to pass the baton over, and Tim's going to talk to you a little bit more about what those annual reviews are that we do with customers. So thanks so much.
So over the past 6 months, many of you have probably received an email from someone on the CSM team that starts something like this: "We are quickly approaching your organization's renewal date with OnBoard." If you've gotten one of those and you've learned about our new approach this year of trying to keep in touch with our customers in sort of a different way. So it involves not only touching base from time to time by email or when you reach out to us with questions and things, but now we're reaching out to all of our customers about 3 months ahead of your OnBoard renewal date. And when we do that, we're asking to schedule an account review call with you and your OnBoard user team. Now, that call is really designed to help us be tuned in to your current needs and questions, but also to give us a great opportunity to be more aware of how we can best serve you in the coming months. So it kind of helps us have some vision with you. The 4 bullets that you see on the screen are the bases that we covered during that call. So usage data. By taking a look at your OnBoard usage over the last 12 months, we can kind of highlight trends that we can discuss with you, and also opportunities to help you draw more out of your OnBoard services. Understanding your meeting needs and your desired outcomes helps us to focus on being attentive to those with you throughout the year. So the more we know, the more we can respond appropriately, perhaps provide resources and some feedback for you. During the calls, a lot of times we find great opportunities to share best practices, things that will help you to streamline your meeting preparation work and hopefully also impact your meeting efficiency in a really great way. And last, we try to share our product updates, both the ones that have just been recently put out, as well as maybe upcoming product changes that may have an impact on you, especially those ones that we know are going to help in areas that you've identified needs with, and we can point to and say, hey, this is going to be happening in OnBoard soon, and this is how it's going to be able to help you. So when you receive that email request, and those of you that are in the first half of the year, we'll be getting those here from us soon. We hope that you'll respond to that annual review call request, get it scheduled right away so that we can have that really valuable conversation with you.
All right, so this is Dean Floyd. Thanks for all the information so far. I wanted to just go through some things regarding our 2019 OnBoard release highlights. So you may have noticed we've transitioned to a more monthly release cadence, and the main reason for this is to provide you with just more frequent, smaller updates rather than a ton of updates all at one time. And we did this with our customers in mind, just since it's easier to adjust and learn smaller changes more frequently than having to deal with large changes all at one time. So I'm going to review some of the highlights from this year. And as I go through these, just think if there's any that you specifically requested, and these releases are prompted from feedback that we get from our customers. So you can always submit requests like these through the product change request process or by contacting your customer success manager. And in fact, we actually had around 580 product change requests in 2019. So looking at the December release, the most recent one that we had last Wednesday, there's two big things I want to call out, and those are the remote wipe functionality and the improved board book loading process. So you can see in the top screenshot here that remote wipe can be done through the directory in OnBoard, and if you click on the three little dots to the right, you now have the option to wipe devices remotely. So this can be very helpful in protecting the data if a user loses their device or leaves the organization. And if the device is found later on after the remote wipe is completed, the user simply has to just log back in and they'll immediately regain full access. So this is just a way to, basically keep things more secure and have that option to remotely wipe the devices if that's needed. In the bottom screenshot, you'll see that we've added a loading bar when opening the book. Previously, it wasn't clear if it was frozen or working, and so we wanted to improve this experience for our users, and both of these features are things that are available to all organizations. For November, we rolled out our meeting and engagement analytics here on the next slide, and that's part of our global suite. This shows meeting views, book views, the book section views, and annotations created. It's found within each meeting and can be viewed by anyone invited to the meeting. And the meeting views and book views can be seen either as a line graph or as a pie chart. And as you hover over these graphics, you'll see more details to better understand the data. And this is really helpful to see if users are preparing in advance of the meeting and just what sections they are looking at the most. And just a reminder, if you have any questions about any of this as we're going through, feel free to use that Q&A or chat features to communicate with us. For September, we released our secure messenger tool. This has the look and feel of like an instant message or text message. It allows for users within OnBoard to message with each other, and you can message individuals or utilize the group set up within OnBoard. If you would like to learn more about Messenger, you can also view our November webinar that we had. It's a recording where we covered all of Messenger in more depth. And so for the Messenger product, it can be purchased a la carte or as part of our collaboration suite. So the July release included a complete makeover to the permissions panel, which you can see in the left screenshot. This is used to function as a drag and drop. That's what it did previously. But now it's a little more clean and intuitive, and you can just click on the plus or the X next to the member or the group in which you want to grant permission. We've also added source details showing which group or groups the user received permission from, as seen in the middle screenshot. So for example, if you give reader access to your Board of Directors group, you'll see permission from Board of Director listed under that user's name. If they are receiving permissions from multiple groups, you can click to see which groups those are in. And we also added the ability to invite members to OnBoard directly from the meeting permissions. Having this shortcut allows you to invite members to OnBoard without having to navigate back to your directory. If you're looking to invite existing members to the meeting, you just simply need to choose their permission level and click on Save and Close at the top. Another update in the July release includes an improved approval experience, and we removed the red and green colors based on your voting option and just added the words current vote under the selection that you make. For the June release, we added the ability to add annotations to the resources. This is all the same functionality as our annotations that we have in the board book, but now we have the option to add them to resource files. So the three annotations that we have are the comment or the sticky note, where you can type in some feedback or whatever you want to take notes on. You can also use the highlighter or the freehand tool within the annotations for resources. For the May release, this was a larger one, and prior to us starting our monthly releases, so we did roll out a lot of changes all at once. First, we added a button for remote meeting details. This allows you to add a link and a dial-in number, a meeting ID, and any meeting details for anyone joining the meeting remotely. You'll also see that we've since added some additional meeting details here in the same place as part of our November release. Another update in May on the next screen here was improvements to our agenda section details. The first update was adding the ability to add an unnumbered section and omit that from the board book. So this removes the agenda numbering from this section, so you can include a break that doesn't show up in your board book. So some groups use this as headers as well, and you can see how this looks as part of your agenda in the top left section. So again, if you have like a lunch break or a restroom break or something that you want to include in there but don't want it to be part of the agenda or the board book, you can include it there by clicking that remove section numbering and omit from the book. As for the rest of the agenda section details on the right there, there were a few other changes. The duration field was updated to be an open text field where you can enter what time the agenda item should begin or type in a duration such as 5 minutes. So it gives you a little more flexibility there now. You can also enter a hyperlink in the agenda description, and it will actually appear in the agenda as a link that can be clicked on when viewing it in the agenda. We also added the ability to add presenters, even if they are not part of OnBoard. In the May release here, or the last part of the May release is the ability to archive a meeting. So if you click on the three little dots while viewing the meeting list, you will see there is also an option now to archive the meeting. Archiving it will lock everything down so nothing can be changed within the meeting. And this is not something you have to do, but something that some groups do find useful. You can see that in this image that the word archive shows up along with a lock symbol next to the meeting once it's been archived. So those are all the release highlights I wanted to cover today, and we're very excited about everything we want to roll out in 2020. I'm going to pass it over to Tim to cover some more updates on the Passageways side.
So it's not all just software and games here. We like to do a lot of other things that are really important to us. And as a company, we've made some real commitments this year in several areas that we've been sharing so far. One of them has been that we have committed this year to being a part of Pledge 1%. Passageways joined us this year. It's a movement that is to help inspire individuals and companies to donate their time, product, and profit to charitable causes throughout their community and across the globe. Our goal is to make giving back a new standard. We do that through community outreach and demonstrating a commitment that goes beyond ourselves. And that's what it means to be a pathfinder, which is what we call all our folks here who work at Passageways. So some of the ways that we do that are through volunteer time. Pathfinders here at Passageways are all provided with volunteer time off, which I'm sure many of you do as well. And we do that to allow everybody to have the chance to get out there and help the charities that they really care about in the community. We also, each year, donate our product OnBoard to 5 different nonprofits who are making a real difference in their community. We want to help them continue that difference by giving them a way to have more effective board meetings. And then we also give back 1% of all Passageways profits for both products, Ensemble and OnBoard, to charities that are, again, making an impact in their community. We also, this year, we had a great opportunity to take part in something, our blood drive through the American Red Cross. We did that on July 31st, and we're excited that we had 21 donors, 15 of whom were first-timers. That's kind of a big deal. A lot of people getting poked for the very first time to do that. That's pretty neat. That effort was a great opportunity for us to see up to 63 different people whose lives were impacted who needed that blood. We're excited about being able to be a part of that. One thing that many of you are probably aware of that, again, this year has been a great focus for us. Many of you probably have gone online to shop for services and products. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that many of you today either have or will be doing some of your holiday shopping online, right? We all do, and we all love to shop online to kind of find out more about what we're interested in. And your peers also go online to get a look at board management tools and other business software. Many of you have helped us this year to make that easier for them by adding your perspective on OnBoard portal. And that really does help other people pick the right product based on real user experiences. So why write a review for OnBoard? We've asked many of you to do that, and many of you have. Here's some reasons why it's really a great idea. First of all, it helps your peers. If we all provide feedback on the business software that we use every day, our collective wisdom will help take the pain out of those purchasing decisions for everybody. It also helps you earn a little recognition. Your detailed and balanced reviews of products that you know inside and out can really position you as an expert. And it gives you a chance to share your feedback, make your voice heard. If you use a product that's made your job easier, helped streamline your work, had an impact on your organization, you have a chance through this review to make your voice heard. So we want to say a great big thank you to everybody who shared an OnBoard review this year through one of the couple of different sites that we've used. And if you haven't yet had the chance to share a review and would be interested in doing that, reach out to your CSM today. If not, soon one of us might be reaching out to you anyway, and they'll help you get connected. We even have a special program that's going through this month. We're not sure about going into the year yet, but we know for right now there's a special program that you can get an Amazon gift card just for writing an OnBoard review. Now, how great is that? Just in time for holiday shopping, but we would love to have you take part in that. And again, we thank you so much for all of those that have been given this year. As you notice, this year on the Capterra website, we received a badge for Best Ease of Use in Board Management Software. This gives us a great 5 out of 5 stars rating, and you can see some of the other awards here that we've gotten. And again, this couldn't be done without you all, so thank you so much. We love social media here at Passageways. We're sure you probably do too. And it seems like it's the tool for everybody to be able to stay connected everywhere we go. And we're no different here at Passageways. So you can actually follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And we have people that focus on that here at Passageways from our marketing team, and the rest of us also do it on our own individual accounts. You can go out there and find news about our company, special features on Passageways staff, and even customer news and things like our recent Q&A with the Reach Institute. So if you want to kind of know what's happening with Passageways, make sure to go out and follow us on any of those social media outlets, and we'd love to hear from you through those as well. So feel free to connect with us anytime.
This just in from the North Pole. Santa found Zoom on the naughty list. However, he found all of our OnBoard customers on his nice list this year, and he is bringing a sleigh full of specials to all of you.
For our current customers, we are offering up to 30% off for additional user licenses of 5 or more, and 30% off 1 additional suite and buy one, get one free suites. Also, we have a Share the Love campaign. If you refer your friends to OnBoard as a small thank you, we will send you $50 for every person you refer. As a little extra, you will receive $250 for every referral who purchases OnBoard, or you can choose to donate your $250 to your favorite charity. And Santa will only be here with his sleigh full of specials until the end of December.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Please do take advantage of these specials, as Gina just shared, straight from the North Pole, right from Santa's mouth. And yes, Zoom is getting a lump of coal for what happened today. We are getting ready to wrap things up. We didn't have any Q&A. We didn't expect a lot, just because this was a little bit of a different session for us, this webinar. But we do thank you guys so much for joining us, and we just want to share a couple of things that you can be looking ahead to for 2020 as we wrap today up. So, things that we have on our roadmap for 2020, we have gotten a lot of requests from all of you for enhancing the profile fields in the member directory. So those are coming, places so you can enter term limits, graduation years for your alums and things like that. As well, for our public and government organizations and institutions that require to post publicly their agendas and meeting materials, we're going to be making it easier for you to do that. So that is currently in the works. We're also going to be optimizing your ability to search more throughout OnBoard, rather than currently you can search titles for resources and filter on things and search your board packets, but you want to just enhance that even further. So as always, these are kind of subject to change, but those are either in discovery or actively being worked on, along with some other things like minutes taking. So how we get these on our list is based on you kind of voting for them and requesting them. So please take advantage of that.
Yes, and we also have the audio and video transcription. I am very excited to eventually see this roll out from our excellent product development department, as well as a minutes-taking tool. I've had many questions from all of you for the ability to automatically take the minutes during your meeting, and so we are anxiously awaiting that arrival also within the next few months. We also would love to hear from our customers regarding any of your feature requests and suggestions. Feel free to submit those. Just go to the left side of your blue navigation toolbar, select the Help tab, and then the Help Center, and contact tech support to contact us and submit all of your great ideas to OnBoard. We take those all very seriously in considering the development of our new releases.
Okay, so finally, before we wrap up, we just want to let you know that we're thinking about themes for January in our webinar sessions, and we always invite your input on those in terms of themes and topics. For January, we have January 21st. If you want to save the date for that, we'll be talking about looking forward to all of 2020 and how you might be setting new goals and having initiatives that OnBoard could be aligned with, and just, again, how better to align OnBoard with those expected success outcomes. So again, January 21st. At this time, I think I want to make sure Dean and Tim and Gina, if you have any last thoughts or if any questions, feel free.
Yeah, feel free to reach out to your customer success manager or implementation manager. We are thrilled to help you and answer your questions anytime.
Yeah,
Dean and
thank
Tim?
you all for thank you all for bearing with us through some difficulties today, but we appreciate all of you and hope you have a great holiday season.
Yes.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas, everybody, and hope you all have a great, happy New Year.
See you soon in 2020.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.